We're back. Thanks for sticking around. Joined now by Dr. David Cunic. He's the CEO of UCS Advisors. David, always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thanks for having me, Don. Appreciate it.
What's the latest these days in the cannabis industry?
Well, the latest and greatest in the cannabis industry is that a lot of people are keeping their eyes on the Safe Banking Act and how that's making progress. The second thing a lot of people are paying attention to in the cannabis industry is mergers and acquisitions. There's a lot of predictions that this could be the biggest year in the cannabis industry for mergers and acquisitions. And really, the third thing that people are really paying attention to in the cannabis sector is really what's happening out here on the East Coast and how you're seeing a lot of businesses from the West Coast coming out here to the East Coast. And you're seeing a lot of old money out here on the East Coast starting to invest in cannabis.
Well, it's interesting. You talk about mergers and acquisitions. So there's some degree of consolidation going on in the space.
There is. Yeah, you're seeing people that have been in the industry for the last 4 to 5 years who they don't have all the tax breaks. They can't expand their business as much as they wanted to. And they're selling their companies. And also in terms of other companies that are trying to really grow very quickly, they're merging with other larger companies to help expand their growth. So we really see where the sector is going, where we're predicting a lot of mergers and acquisitions this year.
Now, you mentioned the Safe Banking Act. Any predictions of that?
I don't really see it going through this year, personally speaking. I think it's going to kind of go hand in hand with what's going to go on with the cryptocurrency regulations that they're still trying to come up with. I think once we get some of the crypto regulations here in the United States, I think that's going to help push the Safe Banking Act a little bit quicker through Congress.
Well, a lot of companies have used crypto as a way to circumvent the banking, haven't they?
Yes, they have. And what's interesting now, when you attend a lot of these cannabis conferences throughout the United States, there's always a crypto part to it. And you're seeing now different crypto companies coming about to really help deal with this banking issue in cannabis.
So it's another issue of the government getting its fingers into another piece of the pie.
Exactly. It really is. A great example of a company that we're keeping an eye on is a company called We Grow Data. They're a blockchain technology that is really focused in the cannabis industry. And it has some pretty big, significant people behind it that are not in the cannabis industry. And now when it comes to looking to invest in companies, especially in cannabis, a lot of investors are looking at the management team and their prior experience on leading companies and growing companies.
Well, I know that many institutional investors have been looking at the cannabis industry, but maybe afraid to dip their toe in the water. Do you see that changing?
We are seeing that because of the failure rate of cannabis companies that occur. Investors are really being a little more cautious of where they're putting their money. But also when we look at the publicly traded cannabis companies, they're a little stagnant at the moment. And we're really finding some great opportunities right now in the market because some of these companies that are doing their expansions, we won't really see the real fruits of their the real fruits of their labor till about maybe the fourth quarter of this year, if not the beginning of next year.
Going back to the subject of consolidation and mergers and acquisitions, that can only help the failure rate, so to speak, right? If bigger companies consolidating and acquiring smaller companies.
Don, you hit the nail on the head as you see me nodding my head up and down. Yes, 110%. It will help out many companies that are going to be going through these mergers and acquisitions. And I think it's going to really make a lot of investors very happy overall as well, too.
Now, I know that with the pandemic going on the last couple of years, the cannabis convention business has been a little bit down. Do you see that picking back up this year?
Dramatically, very much dramatically. You already see the pre-sale tickets ending by March 1st. There's a conference coming up on March 19th in Boston that I'm actually speaking at already the hotels around it are already almost completely sold out. It really is interesting to see the boom of what's happening with cannabis conferences. And right now, I want to say, just for us here at UCS Advisors, we are already earmarked to be attending 21 of them this year.
21 conferences this year?
That is correct. 21 conferences this year.
My goodness. Once again, UCS Advisors, Dr. David Cunic. David, always a pleasure. Your insight and advice are most respected in the industry. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on today, Don.